How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new video. So in today's video, we're finally going to be getting the Hellcat Challenger painted so we can start putting it back together. So I'm going to start getting it prepped, get it in the booth, and get the whole thing sprayed, and we'll show you guys the results once it's finished. Let's jump right into it. Got the primer all sanded, blocked, everything's good to go. We've got a couple coats on here, everything's sanded smooth. Off camera, I did go ahead and complete all the seam sealer work on the rest of the car. I did finish up the interior of the trunk. So we've got original style beads running all the way around, across the bottom, around each of the frame rail reinforcements the way they've done them from the factory, and reinstalled the sound deadening section on the floor pan on the right side of the trunk over here that we had to remove in order to fix that area. So we've got all seam sealer done. Everything's done on the outside as well. So while the car is in the spray booth getting painted, I'm going to start working on the doors and the trunk lid. There was some paint damage on the trunk lid from where the spoiler sits. It does over time kind of wear through the paint. Just got those areas fixed. We got our new door over here, and the driver's side door had some additional damage at the bottom from rock chips and bad body work that had been done to it before. So gone ahead and gotten that fixed, and then I'm going to start sanding these areas and get both, or actually all three of these panels ready to go into the booth, and we'll get those sprayed after the car body itself is painted. Just like that, while we were prepping those parts, the body of the car is painted and out of the booth. We got everything done here, and I think it turned out really nice. Got a really nice reflection going on there, clear, laid down, amazing. We got the new hood painted as well. All turned out super nice. I am super happy with how it came out of the booth. So now we're gonna get some stuff put back together. I did already go ahead and throw the little body plugs back in the side, and I cavity waxed the quarter, the rocker, and reinstalled the urethane foam on the inside of the quarter, so everything's back to factory spec there. Now we're gonna go ahead and put in a couple things that we can. The antenna is gonna go back in, and I'll put on like the retainers and whatnot for the rear bumper cover, get those snapped in. But I can't go any further because this harness needs to be replaced, and I'm going to pick it up from the dealer later in the week. So this whole interior harness, everything in here has to come out in the next video, but that will put me on pause from reassembling any more of the interior. I don't know if I had mentioned in previous videos, but the section of harness that comes through the rear body and feeds the plug that goes to the parking sensors and whatnot back here did get severed in the accident, so a big chunk of harness is cut from where the car was smashed here in the corner. So we're gonna do the harness after that. But as far as the paint, I am very happy with how this turned out. We're gonna let it sit and cure for quite a while. It did get baked, but gonna let it sit and harden for a couple days before we go ahead and touch anything. That's why we got plenty of extra work to do to get these painted up and ready to go on. So for now, we're gonna take a pause and we'll pick up when the rest of the parts are painted. Guys, the Challenger is entirely painted. Got the body and the doors, the trunk lid all set. It is super dusty. It does match. That's just a trick of the light. There's a lot of dust on the doors as opposed to the body because the doors were laying flat in the shop. Same thing with the trunk lid. It's got dust on the top of it, but otherwise the paint turned out great. I'm gonna clean it up a bit before I go ahead and bring it home, blow off some of this dust. I'm not going to do any further assembly on it just yet because the next major step in this process is installing this bad boy right here, and this is the entire interior body harness for the car because, as you know, the fuse box in the rear and some of the wiring that passes through the rear body was damaged, so I want to go ahead and replace that. So I'm going to bring it over to the home garage where I have plenty of space to take it apart and leave it apart for a while without tying up shop space. So I'm gonna get this loaded, bring it home, and then we're gonna dig into getting that big harness replaced. As you know, basically this entire interior has to come out, the other seat, the center console, all the carpets have to come out to give us access to that harness. And then we will get the new harness in and start putting this interior back together for good. Guys, that is going to be the end of today's video. Not a super long video, I know, but we got a ton accomplished in the background. Got the Challenger painted and started putting stuff together. The next video is going to be real exciting. That's when we're going to be changing out that interior harness in the interior body of the car. And then once that's done, we can really start cracking on getting this thing put back together. So I hope you guys stay tuned for the next video. If you want to be notified of when that goes live, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. If you saw something you liked or have any suggestions for the future of the project, please feel free to drop a like, drop a comment down below. Share the video with a friend if you know there's somebody you know that would like this content and would like to see the end of this project come to a close once it's finished. As always, you guys, thank you so much for watching and have an awesome day.